In the center of the opening shot of Jordan Peele's Us is a CRT TV, a clearly current commercial about the 1986 Hands Across America charity event plays, followed by one about the Santa Cruz beach and boardwalk. Cut to a carnival. Years of making basic associations led me to the conclusion that we were in 1986 Santa Cruz. And just as I started to feel good about having understood this obvious transition, and the film trusting me to have understood said transition, a location title showed up on screen. 1986, Santa Cruz. I audibly groaned. Hello, by the way, and welcome to the Week I Review. My name is an American, and today I'm splitting up my typical duties in order to properly talk about Jordan Peele's follow-up to his massive smash hit Get Out. This video that you're watching right now is a review, and a spoiler-free one at that. Regular viewers may notice that it is a little shorter than usual for this channel, which is because I'm also posting a second video, a deeper dive that grapples with the things that Us is saying and also wants to say. Anyone can and should watch this one, but only those who have seen it through should watch that one. So, Us. The only thing I knew going in was what I had heard from the theatrical trailer, during which I was able to close my eyes but not my ears. There is a family, and then another family that looks just like that family shows up to, funny games them or something. It's not necessarily wrong, though it is certainly incomplete, but I am glad that I looked away when the trailers came on, because the images that accompanied that bit of explanation contain a shocking amount of very late in the film footage. In fact, there is less in the trailer from Us's first 20 minutes than there is from its last. Plus, the way the trailers cut together just doesn't do a great job of conveying what Us really is. I went in expecting a straight-up horror film, as did my two movie-going companions. The woman who would have been our fourth didn't come because she thought it was going to be too scary. But I knew something was off from the spread of trailers that played before the film. I actually commented out loud about this at the time because you can learn a lot about what theaters expect a film's audience to be based on the associated advertising. A typical horror movie shows trailers for horror movies, possibly some sci-fi action stuff too, but not Us. Sure, there were 3 of those: Pet Sematary, Midsommar, Ma, the first 2 of which I actually closed my eyes during once I recognized them. But the others went in some radically different directions. Olivia Wilde's coming-of-age comedy, Booksmart, that movie about a KKK member becoming friends with a black activist. The Natalie Portman-led space drama, Lucy in the Sky, teaser for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This selection points to a genuine confusion on the part of whomever it was who put them together about who exactly Us is for. And it led me to recalibrate a little bit, that maybe it wasn't going to be that scary after all. And I was right, because as it turns out, the trailer has more jump scares than the movie does. There's only one big noise and movement event in the entirety of Us, which is the exact number that I'm okay with. Instead, the film prefers quieter, more unnerving moments, and is much more effective for it. But it's also very funny, in a way that is more consistent than its predecessor. Get Out's incredible opening shot blended both horror and comedy in what was just a tour de force introduction to Peele as a filmmaker. But after that, the tone becomes segmented. When Lil Rel Howery's Rod is on screen, it's comedy. When he's not, it's drama. Us, however, makes good on the promise of Get Out's opening by integrating comedy into the horror. Rather than having a single comic relief character for the B-plot, the Wilson family itself is funny and making jokes even as awful things are happening. Much more often than not, they land, and even when they didn't, I truly respected the commitment to threading humor so deeply into such a dark narrative. Which is to say that Us is bolder and more confident than Get Out, an already bold and confident movie. And that just permeates through the film, particularly in its visuals, which are an absolute treat. Get Out's aesthetic worked for its story, but Us is just so much more alive. Camera, lighting, production design, costuming, everything is so on point, and I loved every frame. But I'm conflicted because the film takes a turn that I think doesn't work on the terms that it has set out for itself with the revelations about the nature of the doppelgangers. The metaphor is generally clear and effective, but trying to parse the events themselves is a guaranteed way to develop a migraine. And is particularly frustrating because I feel like I had a handle on things the whole film. I got the callbacks and figured out setups and was thoroughly satisfied by the payoffs. Even those revelations themselves are set up in ways that answer questions I had had within the film, and yet I still felt cheated. Like it was actively hiding things from me just so it could get a before the rapid turn to And that made me mad. Because this movie should be better than that. And so I've half convinced myself that it is better than that, resulting in me spending most waking minutes and some of my sleeping, if my nightmares are to be believed, between then and now trying to explain it to myself, to convince myself that I'm being dumb and not the movie. Because I want that to be the case. I just don't think it is. The best I can hope for then is that on subsequent watches, I'll just be okay with it. That happened to Get Out, actually, which I also felt overextended itself somewhat towards the end. But maybe I won't. So what am I supposed to say? On so many levels, Us is a triumph. But it's one that left a bad taste in my mouth. So I can't love it the way I feel I should. But I can still like it a heck of a lot. And that I definitely do. 7.9 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, that is great. If not, I'm sorry. If you want to see more, please subscribe or, watch the other video that I posted about Us. I hope to see you next week.